welcome, and welcome. We can ready to get this show started. Hey Dre, what's up, boo? Hey Marie, I'm having a great day, and you, sweetie? All right, people gonna come in, but I'm gonna start it so we can get this party started. This is with the T. Let's go.
Everyone is respectful to my guests. If you have any questions or if you guys want to make any comments in the chat, please make sure that there are respectful comments all around. This is a big moment I know for Kite especially, being here with us today and being willing to be open and transparent. Elanahi for being here with us today. I know it's taking you a lot of courage to do this, and I do want to say that I, for one, am very happy to have you here. I'm hoping that you are really down to speak your truth unapologetically today and just, answer the questions. If there's anything you don't feel comfortable with answering, you don't have to answer it, but I'm hoping that you will feel comfortable answering some tough questions, especially that people really have been wanting to know. You have the inside scoop, and you have had the courage to, leave this last time, and we just really want to
leave for good.
Pick your brain and find out what's been going down. So I know you both have a beautiful daughter together, and Elanahi, I know that you had a home birth from the videos and the pictures that we saw posted on your Instagram. And within those photos and those videos, I was very moved, I will say. I know you just, the pictures alone showed a lot of strength, perseverance, and so much power within those pictures. And I know that you did all this without Kite being there. How was that for you, both emotionally and physically? How were you able to handle it?
Well, so kind of gave me my strength that I feel like I needed. I feel like I couldn't really be, too like down or too, because I had to be strong for her, because how I didn't want to put her under no stress. I didn't want her to be, feeling me, because she's a Pisces, so she's gonna feel me like extra, like everything I'm feeling or thinking, she's gonna feel that. So I just had to, just be strong about it. And emotionally, yeah, it was like, well, I had my tribe here to help me, support me emotionally and physically during the labor. So I appreciate them for that. Shout out to Light Crime Melanin. That's my child or whatever. And yeah.
Okay, most definitely. They were definitely there for you. Kite, I'm gonna kind of alternate between asking you guys questions, and then I have to talk TV here as well, the document conversation, and she will jump in and ask a question if she feel free to jump in and ask a question for real talk.
Yeah.
So guys, just in the chat, Kaja, thanks for being here, and I know you supported Elanahi and you've been supporting them both. So thank you as well. You guys did an amazing job for the birth of her child. especially, I know leading up to as well. So amazing support and family there. Definitely didn't go unnoticed. So, Kite, my first question for you is before we really get into things, I want to know because, Eligio, and I'm going to call him Eligio, and you guys know I'm talking about Nature Boy when I say it. I might switch off between Nature Boy. But
All right, that's fine.
recently he said that you guys were all actors. So I want to know from you, have you ever been employed by Nature Boy Eligio, actor, or
Mhm.
is dead ass serious about all of the manipulating mind control stuff that he's been doing for the years?
Wow, I'm glad that you that's the first question you asked because the way that I feel right now is like I'm not doing this like out of for my life to be looked at as entertainment. And I think I want a lot of the people, the public, to really understand that these are our lives that's being affected, not just for show or entertainment. And I really had to accept the fact that I needed psychological healing, um, and accept the fact that I was with a person that was extremely narcissistic. And to answer your question straightforward, no, it's not an act. This is something that is very serious, and it needs to get looked at as serious. It's not a game. I didn't come here to laugh. I didn't come here to say, you know, oh yeah, like, well, it just happened and this is my life. Like, nah, this is like, it really fucked me up, like mentally. And that's my answer. Is like, no, it's not an act. It's real life, perpetuating generational curses instead of healing them.
Thank you for answering that question. Kite, I want to follow that up with another question for you. What is it that initially attracted you to?
Can you? It kind of lagged out.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. So I was saying what initially attracted you
Hey,
to
Miss
getting up
Leo.
Boy and carbonation in the first place.
So my journey with them and Nature Boy started in 2018, and I initially was at a very low um, point in my life. Well, I thought to be my lowest point in my life. So I was actually still kind of back and forth in religions and really just trying to find like a higher purpose in my life. And I came across Nature Boy's video, and anybody would be like, damn, well, it's a black man. He in nature, he in another country. He's telling me to go to the jungles and experience nature. And, I instantly gravitated towards it because it was just different, and I'm young. And when you're young, you're open to new things. And so I was really excited because I actually thought that I found something that I could dedicate my life to, a cause. I really thought, I was convinced that I was going to help be one of the leaders into healing, which I still think healing our people. I really thought that I was a part of a cause that was going to help our people, and that's what initially gravitated me towards going over there.
Um, hello, Kite. How are you? I am also a channel holder. My name is Real Talk TV. Um, I'm so glad that you are here. The comments are saying that it's difficult to hear the T when she's asking the question. Are you able to mute when she's asking the question?
It's difficult to hear me.
It's difficult to hear the T when she's asking.
No, we can hear him. We can't hear you.
Okay, hold on.
We can
She
hear
said
Kite. We
she's
can't
asking a
hear
question.
you,
Can we
real
mute?
TV.
Oh, okay, okay. I get what you're saying. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for answering that, Kite. I appreciate that. Um, to follow that up, Elanahi, I know that you have been very vocal about your thoughts about Nature Boy and his cult in the past. You've had conversations with him on live that everybody has been able to see. You know, how you stand in the face of someone like that and how you know, do not give him anything that he might be looking for in a young person, you know, such as the validation, the attention, the reverence, the worship, none of that. And so, can you tell the audience just maybe one of the reasons why you never joined this cult? Because I know that, you know, a young woman like yourself is the perfect victim for a cult leader and an individual like Nature Boy.
Yes, so starting my spiritual journey, the first thing I found out about myself was that I was an empath. And so upon doing more research of being an empath and being empathetic, the opposite of that was narcissist. And that made me realize a lot of the people in my life, well, not a lot, but a couple people in my life I found out I was dealing with were narcissistic. And I had been in a couple narcissistic relationships. And so I was already able to peep out those things, those characteristics of a narcissist first. So I could just tell by speech and body language. And plus, I study psychology. So I can just already tell by speech, body language, and what this person was giving off that it was I was a narcissist that I was dealing with. And so, um, the first video I seen of him when I was with another tribe, the first video I seen of anything about Nature Boy was the fight video between Malia and Velvet. So automatically I was taken aback by what this person was cultivating. And
Exactly.
this is the first video I see of this person. And plus I was
Mm-hmm.
seeing a whole, like, upon doing somebody that actually does get, like, interested in him and does research, these are the types of videos and stuff that are out there also. So I'm not just looking at, oh, he's giving out the knowledge or whatever. I'm looking at character and morals. And so that was never somebody that I feel like I had great discernment when it comes to peeping out people's characters and morals and principles. So I wasn't too um I wasn't what's the word? I wasn't too interested, or I wasn't, entertained. I wasn't, you know. So automatically I've been kind of iffy about this dude. So, and upon like experiencing him on and off for a year, because he would call my tribe all the time and tell us, um, that what you everybody knows that you're trying to copy us, and you're not gonna make your tribe is not gonna make it. Everybody's gonna separate, and it's gonna fail unless you guys come to me. On and off for a year, all the time. And plus him trying to get me to come over there. A lot of times he would call me, offer me power, offer me this, offer me that, materialistic things, to try to get me to come over there. But I was just never that. I just knew. I just, like, my intuition was like, no, just it just wasn't. I didn't feel it.
Thanks for answering that. I'm so glad that you have that discernment. I remember reaching out to you after one of the first instances that you had with him, and I was telling you. I remember, I'll never forget your response to me. I was telling you, I know he's going to reach out to you. Please don't fall victim to him. And you were like, you were not even interested in any way, shape, or form. And I knew then and there that, you were going to be okay in that regard. Um, my next question is just, I'm going to be going back and forth here, guys. So please bear with me. I got a lot of questions. It's a lot of people want to know the answers to a lot of different things. And there's no set order to it. So just be prepared to jump around a little bit. Kite, I have a question for you. This question has come up so many times that I just have to ask it. I want to get it out of the way. Um, you did a live, I think, a few days ago. I'm not exactly sure what date, but you mentioned something about Zoka's baby, which I personally believe was more of a figurative thing that you said than a literal thing. But you did say something along the lines of, Nature Boy basically killed the baby. And I think it was maybe you were speaking in a spiritual sense. Can you explain that in more detail? And can you also explain within that answer if you were there when the baby was born, or were you guys all back at the camp and it was just, Zoka, Solar? Did they actually go to the hospital? And how did everyone react upon learning that the baby didn't make it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that out of
Mm-hmm.
a literal
Mm-hmm.
context. Me when I said that, I didn't mean that like it was any physical harm being done or
Mm-hmm.
like, but literally the stress of the physical, I mean excuse me, the verbal and mental abuse caused that baby to die. Like literally, anytime that somebody goes to the hospital or
Hey, Blanche.
situations like that
Hey,
happen,
baby.
it is because like they're really stressed. People are really stressed out, whether they want to admit it or not.
And Solar was
Whether
beating her
Nature Boy
up
wants
too.
to admit that he's stressing us out or not, regardless, it's happening, and that's what I want to clear up, and that's why I want to bring awareness to it. And how the group reacted, I think
Mm-hmm.
it was drilled in our heads to believe that it was really a good thing and it was a good cause, because of the fact that uh, I think really it was just a matter of him wanting to control what happens, and as far as like the breeding, you know. So I think it was just he really wants full control of the women. He doesn't want to allow none of the men to really have a wife, to have any children of their own, to have anything of their own, to dedicate their minds completely to him. And that, to answer the reaction part, I think that the reaction part was influenced by him,
Boy, just let it
on
out.
how the group reacted. And
Let
it's
it
crazy
out.
because Zoka and Solar, they were very hurt. They were very hurt. And it's like I didn't really feel like they was allowed to really feel that for themselves, like to really just feel it deeply. Like, yes, they did feel it. I'm not saying that they didn't feel it, but I think that he made it to where it was like he wanted to distract them from feeling it, really, like,
Where they buried the baby?
So
Where did they bury that
Kite,
baby?
I have a question.
Mm.
You said that it was literal in the sense that he created a stressful environment.
Right.
Was there anything specific that he did? For instance,
Well, I mean, you have a person that is calling your baby a demon. You got a person that's saying that, y'all are in y'all demons, and, Solar, I told you not to get with Zoka, and, even it's just like that right there is like, regardless of if they consciously not feeling it, like it's going into their subconscious mind, it's going into their psyche, causing the body stress of hearing that, constantly hearing that.
right. And what about the hospital? Was she ever treated during pregnancy? Did she go to the hospital when she had the child? Do you know anything about that?
Where they buried that baby?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
She did go to the hospital. What happened was the baby's umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck, and that's how the baby passed away. I was there when I actually was there. Every time I've been there in some critical moments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every time I've been there, I've always been there in the biggest moments. So I was there when that happened. I was there when they went to the hospital. They were in the hospital for a long time. Like, so, but that is actually what happened. The baby's umbilical cord was wrapped around the neck when the baby came out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were in critical moments. What were some of the other critical moments that you were there?
Man, it's a lot. I think like for everything, what I mean by critical is like, I really feel like I'm one of the first guys to really speak up like about everything, like how I feel about it, like, and it's like the men there are taught that abuse of women is okay. You feel me? So anytime that something is happening with the women, there's no real person to really speak up on it, because we've made it up in our minds that this is our God, and that, you know, he's perfect, and what he does and what he says, and just like try to justify it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, when you give your mind completely to him, anything is like, you'll allow anything to happen, like, to you. So like, I remember my first time being there, I was in a van, and man, I didn't know what was going on, because I'm not always, like, the guys are not always around him and the woman all the time, you know. But when he was with Velvet, they was in the car. I remember he hit her so bad, bro, that she was bleeding. Like, her nose was bleeding.
Yeah, we know.
Like, and I felt something, like, in the car. Like, I felt something, because, and I've had past traumas of seeing my grandfather being abusive to my grandmother. So it instantly, like, triggered, like, that trauma within me, and I knew it was wrong. I just thought it wasn't my place, like, to speak up on another, because that's how it's always been. It's like I was, in that moment, I was like still a little boy that felt like powerless, because it's like, damn, this is my father figure. Like, this is who I look up to. Like, I can't. He doing what? Maybe she did something to piss him off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I accepted him as my father figure, as my role model. So every little thing he did, even when I knew in my heart it was wrong, I still went along with it. And I don't even think this been said. I don't know if it's been said by Velvet, but I mean, it's nothing new. You know, the abuse is nothing new. I'm just telling you what I've seen that didn't get talked about. I don't know if it didn't get talked about or not, but I'm just telling you what I've seen that I didn't say for so long. But that was a critical moment that I could have spoke up, and I didn't. And over time, I think that when I went back, I really, really realized that it got worse. You know, like, damn, this shit got worse. Like, it didn't get no better. Like, as far as like me seeing that it's just unpredictable. You have to go with what he's doing, and like, you can't have your own sleep schedule. And, you know, if he says a meeting, we got to pull up to the meeting, and people are really tired and stressed and don't get no time to really think for themselves to even get out of the spells. It's like the men constant, like, it's like constant, like, verbal abuse of, but it's like the way that he does it is like, it's like they say that a narcissist is always apologizing, like, always. Yeah, and it's always been like, damn, I apologize, y'all. I didn't mean to be that hard on y'all.
Yeah, you did.
But when you're hard on us, you're really hard on us, like extremely hard on us, verbally, and sometimes with the woman physically. Not just him kicking Malia in the. I know I said it doesn't matter if it was the stomach or the ribs. It doesn't matter what it was. It happened. She was on the ground and got kicked. And then sometimes when the women don't line up right, they get pushed around, and he didn't push Malia's head against the wall. That didn't get said. But it's like he tries to reverse it and tries to justify when he's not being moral. He doesn't want to see it and tries to paint me as the bad person. But I'm glad that I'm strong enough to even be able to be up here and talk about it, because I'm not gonna let him stop me no more, bro. I just can't do it, because I love the people that's there. Like, I built a connection with them, and I have compassion, like, enough. Like, I'm a catalyst for the generational curses. You're seeing it live, like, of it being shown. Like, this is what our people is going through. Like, you're actually seeing me. I'm like a catalyst in the middle of all of it. Like, I'm in it, and it's happening. Like, so just like the pressure, like, that gets put on you of not you, like, man, I tell you, like, I really feel for the women, because it's not right. It's not right, bro. And hopefully, I really feel like Malia is going to leave. I really do feel that way. I feel like Zoka is going to leave eventually. I don't know about everybody else, but I do know that I'm gonna do my best to, like, share what I have to say, you know.
Okay, thanks for answering that. I have one more follow-up question to ask you about the baby. So many people have questions, so I want to get this over and done with. But do you recall Seven, one of Nature Boy's at the time, one of his quote-unquote wives? Do you recall her coming? And did she come to be the doula for the baby to be born, or was she just coming to be with Nature Boy? Because he's kind of gone back and forth, like, the baby was born at home, the baby was born in the hospital. You state that they did go to the hospital. Did something go wrong, or were they always intending to take Zoka to the hospital to have the baby? Did Seven go there for that reason? Do you know anything about that?
Seven in Puerto Rico, I know what you're talking about. I was there. I think that she came over there to be his wife. So yeah, that's what I think. That she came over there to be. That's not what I think. That's exactly what happened. Like, it wasn't. I don't recall anything being said about her coming over there to actually be a doula. Because every time she came to be his wife. So.
Where that baby buried at? That's the question.
Okay, and you did mention something I had a question about earlier, but Kite, do you feel in the back of your mind, because even for yourself, you were never really able to, have a woman come over there to be with you? I know you tried at one point, and that really went south. But can the men realistically have a woman of their own there, especially with the way that he is now? He's really more so out of control than we've ever seen him. It seems like if a woman doesn't want Nature Boy, she's going to be an outcast, she's going to be ostracized, she's going to be verbally abused by him. So how do the men cope with the fact that they will probably never have a woman of their own while they're in that camp? And how did you deal with it?
So the first experience I actually had with that was with Sky. Now, even though Sky is not, we're not two different people, it still happened like that. Regardless if me and Sky are not together, I did experience actually having somebody to come over there, and I not be allowed necessarily to be with me. But the thing is, as a man that's there, you should already know that you ain't gonna be able to have no woman over there, that she not really gonna respect you anyway. If I was a woman, I would think the same way. Like, you know, it's like eventually it's like, well, this is the alpha male and he's the one that's taking care of you. So it's like, why would I be with you when I can just be with him? And then it's like, this is natural biology. It's something that's body language speaks for itself is what I'm saying. Like the nature of things of a woman actually coming there is for one of the guys is unrealistic, right? And I think that's up to the guys to really understand that, like, yo, damn, well, if I'm dedicating my whole life to this, then I'm dedicating myself to not really having a set family, like creating a family or having a woman over there. Because when I was recently over there, he literally told us that, man, I'm sorry, y'all, but any woman that come here, man, I gotta be with all women. All women. That right there is like, now that I'm looking at it, bro, that's like a wounded feminine energy. It's like that you want all the women like to yourself. And I just think that it's not right, bro. That's a whole unhealthy characteristic for your ego. Like, it's not good. And when I sat there and really thought about it, like, damn, so I'm really not gonna be able to have really have no woman over here. But the guys accept it because they feel like, they're on that spirit, they're on their journey, and that's a distraction for them. And I can get that. And even when you're not in carbonation, like, of course a woman can become a distraction for you if you focus. But I just thinking about the long run of it, or thinking about the reality of the situation, or the fact that, your life is being controlled by this person, and he's going to allow you to do this. He's going to allow you to, it's not like you can just do whatever you feel. It's just like he's regulating what you feel.
Kite, you said that when you're there, everybody knows that the women are supposed to be for Elysia, right? What happened to the teachings that you all were supposed to have your own families and raise and procreate and create these different tribes? Do any of the members question or try to figure out, well, why are things changing? Why can we no longer have wives, when he told us that we could be the chiefs of our own our own tribes?
Y'all own tribes.
I think that is because they can't even get to a point of, like I said, it keeps them so busy that you don't have time to think. You feel me? Like, I think that's where it comes from. And also it's like, you won't be able to even open up your mind and really think about it until you're able to have some time to really, it's not even about having time to do it, because even if you alone there, it's like you could still, he got your mind because of he's drilled his ways into your subconscious. So it doesn't matter if you go off alone or, he's constantly always saying, like, when you leave here, my voice is going to be in your head, and stuff like that. So I really think it's just a matter of the individual, like the individual there, like, because I don't know what they're thinking, really. I don't know what Solar is thinking and True is thinking, well, I do, and that's why I was over there. I do, because they've established in their minds that they're going to dedicate their lives to him, and even in his faults, they're going to follow him, and that just is what it is, because they in their minds, that's what they established.
Okay, and with that said, is nature, does he Does he act the same way off camera as he does on camera, or is it worse off camera? The way that he treats everyone, men and women.
It's both. Like you see, the things that you see on camera is um, some of the things that happens off camera. Is both. He doesn't. He's what he did was see how far he could reach, the limit that he could go. Um, and that's where you see like it's being broadcasted online. Like, oh, so I can do this, like online. Oh, bet So I think that's where that comes from. Like to answer your question about like, does the things that online happen offline and offline does it happen? Yeah, both. It's both. Now it's both. But I think a lot of the things that happen off camera, like nobody knew about the Malia situation that I spoke about. Nobody knew that. A lot of things that happen off camera. Basically, I'm confirming to the public that what's already been said is happening, and I want to bring the awareness to it because it's not. We need to really help do as much as possible to help. Um,
Why
for
do
him,
Nature
whether I
Boy
don't know
think
what that looks like
girl, I don't know.
as far as like helping Nature Boy because, like I said at one point, I really looked up to this man. I'm a black man. I don't want to see another black man in jail. But at the same time,
Bye.
if that's what happens,
Bye.
I can't stop that. That's universal law, you know? So,
Bye. He could go.
yeah.
Elena, oh, I'm sorry. Wanted to
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Elenahi, I hear the beautiful baby in the background. I'm so happy that you had the baby. While I remember when you guys were in Puerto Rico and Eligio came with the intent to, I guess, get Velvet or I don't know, punish her for taking his child from him. Firstly, were you pregnant then, and can you explain what that experience was like?
Oh no, I was not pregnant then. No. When Velvet came here, I actually was not here. I had just left probably like a week or so before. Like that situation, I wasn't here for that. But what happened was, okay, so my ex Osiris, Velvet came to be with him, and so he didn't really discuss that with me. So of course we had some type of argument, and then what happened was I ended up leaving Puerto Rico, and then that's when Velvet came. And when Velvet came, one of our tribe members, who's no longer here, he sent Nature Boy the address, and so that's when Nature Boy pulled up to where Velvet and Osiris was, where the family was. I wasn't there, but that's when he had came and all that. And I guess she did it to surfing papers or whatever. I don't know, but because I wasn't there. So, but I know that's what happened.
Okay, and so you weren't in the tribe when you met Kite. You know what? T has the question for that. I'm sorry. I'm going ahead of myself.
No, it's okay. You can ask whatever you want. My questions are really all over the place. I did one of my questions for you guys was, how did you guys meet?
So I met Kite, yeah, after I left my original tribe. I met Kite then. Yeah, I left my tribe and he had just left Carbonation. And so we started, texting because, we could relate to each other. So, that's when I met Kite. I wasn't in my tribe and he wasn't at Carbonation. Yeah.
And then I want to go back and ask Kite a question. Kite, I know that I think I've heard you talk a little bit about how you feel about the authorities, and you don't see yourself ever going to the authorities. Do you ever see yourself if you were approaching the authorities about the things that you've seen there? Because what you've in fact seen is a lot of crimes being committed. It's not a crime to be a cult leader. It's not a crime to be in a cult.
Right.
It is a crime to physically assault someone. It is a crime to hit your wife, beat your wife, abuse your wife. Would you ever feel that you could talk to them about the things that you've seen? I do understand that, having not been the one that was being physically abused, you would only be able to go so far. And that's just the truth. A lot of people
Oh yeah.
like it, but would you ever be willing to at least say what you saw and, let the universe take it from there? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I want to say that the reason why I'm doing this interview is because I want to be very, very open and vulnerable. I noticed that I had to be very, very honest with myself when it came to people telling me like, you're in a cult and you were the person that's being a narcissist, and I really had to accept that. So I really feel like I need a lot of psychological healing. I need to be connected with a psychologist, therapy. I really feel it takes a lot to even say all this, but I really feel like I need that because a lot of the belief systems in my head has not gone away. And when I came here, I actually had like nightmares, like back to back sleep, not just nightmares, but sleep paralysis back to back. Because literally I thought that I'm disobeying God, and I thought that I was like, going back to hell, which they like to call Babylon or whatever, but it's like hell because of the belief systems that's been drilled inside of my head, So the reason I'm speaking on that is because I think not just people, but I have to realize that the reason that if something is holding me back from going to the authorities, it's because I am really scared that I'm going against God. Like, because I've drilled it in my head that he is somebody that is the God of the gods or the Messiah. I feel like I'm going against the Messiah when I go to the authorities. That's how deep this is, and that's why I say this is not, my life is not entertainment. I'm actually I'm actually a victim of these things that you're seeing publicly. So my answer to that is, I think that one day, quicker than I think, I'll be able to do it, but I think I would need to really get the psychological work done to rewire my brain back to normal, because I'm not at a certain level of sanity within myself because of the pressure that I put myself through. As far as like, I know that the world is watching. I know that he's watching. I know that I know that the tribe is watching. I also have to take care of my family. Like, we got things going on that
welcome, love.
I don't have no money because I've gave my energy back and forth. I've dedicated my life to carbonation. So I never really got a chance as a man to even, I was young when I left 2018, I was 22. I was still learning, and so I didn't really get to build anything as a man, because I dedicated my energy. I gave my energy to it. So it's like, I'm dealing with so much, bro. I'm dealing with so much, trying to figure it all out, like, and like, not just for me, it ain't even about me. It's about my children. I have 2 daughters. I have my daughter that just was born, and I have Raina, my first daughter. She's about to be 5.
The one you
and
left.
I haven't been taking care of her financially, and that feels wrong. I've been feeling that for a minute. I've been feeling wrong about that, and for a minute. But I will say that I didn't like, Natureboy is not the cause of the traumas that you're seeing. He's just perpetuating them, because the trauma's already been there. We all know this. We went through as our people. So it's already been there. But the difference is what stands out or is clear to the public and clear to me is that me going through all these things, it's because I looked up to this person because he said it was okay. Because he said it was okay for it to happen, because like imagine like, you know, with Elanahi, which I want to publicly apologize to her, I treated Elanahi so wrong because of my belief system, and because if you know, taught to hit a woman, like, you know, if she steps out of line, hit her, you feel me, like, and I've hit her. I've had situations where I've hit her twice. So that brings me to the point of saying, like, I'm not saying that he caused me to necessarily, he caused the trauma that was, he just perpetuated it and made it, because I looked up to him. Oh yeah, it's okay, man, you supposed to hit that bitch. Don't feel bad for that shit. You supposed to do that. That's not healing generational curses. It's like, you know, so that's I'm sorry I'm going on, like, but yeah.
It's okay. Take your time, baby.
I appreciate you saying all that, because one of my questions for you was basically is, are you at
Maybe,
some point
Miss Leo.
going to, I was going to actually ask Elanahi as well, if you guys were going to try to seek some type of professional counseling or therapy at some point, because you absolutely need it. Because one of the things that I think cult members don't realize is that cult leaders need you and your energy more than you can ever need them. And I think that, you know, a lot of people say that, you know, these guys aren't working and these guys are just, you know, being lazy. I think it's a very stressful lifestyle to be a cult member and to be constantly on call and to be constantly stressing and to constantly, you know, at the beck and call of a narcissist to Natureboy's degree. You can never really relax. I mean, what did you guys do were you guys ever able to de-stress over there? Or was it a constant, you know, going until it was time for him to go to bed, or time for him to, you know, mess around with one of the females? Or like, what was life like during every day for you guys?
Sure. In order to manipulate a group of people, in order to really get them to all worship you, you have to have some sense of letting them have fun, or have fun with them, or make it seem like, you know, it's really like you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to kind of give it like a little space and then throw things in there. You can't just do it all the way. So you got to make it seem like, yeah, we're a family.
Exactly.
You know, what I'm saying to you is I've actually, when I'm over there, I've had good times.
Of course.
But I know that them good times are, the intentions of what's going on in totality is wicked. Right?
Kite, are you referring to like the love bombing stage where he creates these moments for you to miss?
You said love bonding.
Love bombing.
Love bombing. It's like a tag.
Oh yeah. Like, you know, like yeah, let's watch a movie together, y'all. Let's do this together, y'all. Like, let's have, you know, like, all that stuff is good in a sense of like, that's how we're looking at it. But you get the intention behind the totality of what's going on is not being looked at in the members' perspective. In the member's perspective, it's like, oh damn, like, he really, when he loves hard. Like, when he actually loves, he loves hard.
Who he loves?
And you get what I'm saying? I think I wanted to say this about him is that
nobody.
In Costa Rica, I really feel like he really had pure intentions. A lot of people think that he just spent the $300,000 on himself, but that's not the case. You actually got to realistically think about if you had $300,000 and people are coming to you, you're taking care of them. These members that in the beginning in Costa Rica actually had a good time and actually got to get splurged with money, and, you know, he was, you know, actually giving it away, and they're doing a whole bunch of activities.
That was to catch you. What
happened was,
that's, it was so,
you know, people take advantage of that, of you having that much money. And so what happens is,
that was the setup.
He started to peep that he needed to be more structured and ordered, which is totally fine. the Nation of Islam is ordered and structured. Our government is ordered and structured. We have things that are ordered and structured. That's totally fine. I think that it became unhealthy when the need for control became abuse. And I think he abused his power in trying to organize his life with the people that was coming in his life. You know, I think that it's out of a insecurity to really have that full control, because I feel like in a true king's perspective, the king is, I think what's happening is that we have so many men that are leaders that they have a mindset of conquer instead of nurturing, because their feminine energy is wounded. So they want to conquer in order to control, so they won't they feel like, then normally it's people that like him that have abandonment issues. He wants full control, and when he doesn't have that, I think we all know this though. It's all out of fear of not having a family. So he wants to control it and conquer instead of really nurturing it and letting it happen through love instead of abuse of power.
Kite, do you know Eligio's past? Are you familiar with where he comes from and the things he's done before he started this group, this cult?
Absolutely. He's talked about it. If you really do deep research, he's talked about his life. He talks about his life all the time. This is how people outside of the camp is able to decipher what's really going on and what traumas are really playing out.
No, I mean, have you heard it from outside of him? Have you heard what he's been through?
Oh, like outside from other people in his life?
Yes.
Wow. No, not really. Not really. Now that I think about it, no.
So, for instance, Kite, let me interject here for a minute. Did you know that with his baby mom, Aisha, his youngest son, or not his youngest son, his second oldest son, he was facing prison time before he started his journey, and back in, I think, 2016, he was facing 10 years in prison. He was able to manipulate her into writing a letter to the judge in order to get himself off from doing time. And so they ended up eventually dropping the charges against him, but he would most likely be sitting in jail right now if it weren't for that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been able to get away with a lot for a lot of years. And he, like you said before, you know, he keeps pushing the limit to see how far he can go and see how much he can get away with. And it has served him very well in his life so far, simply because people won't step up and be held accountable for the wrongs that he does. And I think, you know, as much as he talks to you guys about, you know, all of the things that he's accomplished in his life, he's left out some very, very important details.
I want to say this: he has not left out any details. He's always talking about everything, not just the good, but the bad. But I don't know what it is. I think that, like, as far as like him not really reflecting on what he's done, like, because he's told us about Maisha, and he told me that story plenty of times about him. He beat Maisha bad, like really beat her bad. He said that out of his mouth. I want to make that clear. That it's not just, he talks about him being successful. Like, it's everything. He talks about everything about his life. That's how I'm able to even decipher the traumas that's going on, because I'm like, wait, damn, I didn't really think that's why okay. So he wants to crossbreed his children, right? He literally says this. He wants to have babies with his wives, and the babies are going to crossbreed. And I'm really thinking like, oh, I see what's going on. You want to make it to where that you put your mind inside of these children so they won't ever leave you because of your trauma. That is what's happening. That's what you're seeing. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to put his mind in other people and children in order for him not to feel that space he's felt when he was in his childhood.
Whatever.
You're seeing a hurt boy, is what you're seeing.
What's up with Baby Ja?
You're seeing a hurt boy when you look at me.
What's
You know,
up
I'm
with
not
Baby
exempt
Ja?
from my own traumas.
Let's talk about Baby Ja.
Kite, I think your spirit is so pure. I really do. I think that you have come so far from where you were when you first introduced yourself to us as a member of Carbonation. But I just want you to know, Kite, you are nothing like Eligio. You are nothing like him. There's something inside of you that made you go back to your children to heal, like you said, generational curses or wounds. You went back, and regardless of how many times it took you, you are there now. You're nothing like him. This man is I'm not a therapist or anything, but more than likely he's a sociopath, and he uses the traumas in his past to manipulate people like you who have really pure spirits. I want you to understand that. Just know that no matter what you are feeling, what you're going through, when you can't sleep, when you're having nightmares, you are nothing like him. And he will never be as pure, as close to true healing as you have become.
Kite, I wanna ask you a question, and I want to thank Real Talk for saying all that, because you definitely are not like him, even though you might have maybe at one point thought that
You know
you
why,
have to
Miss
share in
Leo?
his guilt. I think you only have to hold yourself accountable for the wrongs that you've done, and I think you did that. I know there's some people in the chat that are thinking that you get a pass, but I think you just revealed some things today that no one even knew about, and you held yourself accountable for that. And your woman is sitting right there next to you, and I just Elanahi, I want to say to you, no man should ever be putting his hands on you for any reason. And I don't know what the circumstances of that situation were or how it occurred, but we don't give passes for that, but we do appreciate when people step up and hold themselves accountable for wrongdoings, for making mistakes, for things that they know in their heart are not right. And so people in the comments, you guys, you need to understand that if someone is stepping up to the plate and saying, I did this, when no one knew about it until now, that's a step. That's something. And he's not sitting here bragging about it and saying, this is my right to do this. He's saying he was wrong. And that's a start. A lot of us come from backgrounds where, we witnessed abuse in the home. We witnessed our grandfathers, our fathers, even our uncles being abusive. There are even abusive women out there as well. And as long as you're holding yourself accountable for what you're doing and never doing it again, I think that's the most important part. And Kite, do you understand that, that's something that should never happen in your relationship again, and that's not something that you would want for your daughters either?
Yeah, what I understand is that obviously there's a divine reason why I'm having daughters, and I know that reason. I know why I'm having daughters, because it's literally a sign. It's symbolic of me needing to focus on my feminine energy and really healing that part of myself, to become more nurturing to myself, so I can become more nurturing to others. And I think that what essentially happens to people is that for the longest, I've ignored it and never really talked about it. And imagine constantly seeing it and not doing anything about it, or not addressing it within yourself. I think when you ignore it, you become it. and I became it at times, and I'm definitely that's not something I'm proud of. There's a lot of things I'm not proud of. There's a lot of things I'm not, stuff I've said that I'm not proud of. I think that it it takes a lot to even address it within my own self to really heal from it, because I'm like, I have two daughters, bro. Like, regardless of, like, I don't know what it is that he's making it seem right to, like, the other day I seen that he said that, yeah, a king can hit his woman. It's like, I don't think he really understands the full of, like, damage that can cause, because it's like, are you going to ignore the purity of a little girl, or a little girl, like a little child, a baby girl? Like, are you going to have baby girls around you and saying that? Because that's not healthy for any baby girl to be around. And I can see why Velvet took her daughter away from that, because it's like, why would you want your daughter to be around a man that is condoning physical abuse towards women? And it's like, it gotta stop. Like, it just got to stop, because it's like, I know that a real man is. I'm not saying that any man should allow themselves to get abused by women verbally, or, I'm not saying that for people that might think that I'm a feminist. Like, nah, I'm not. It's not that. It's just, I just think that divine, like, what masculinity comes with is being more mature and communicative when it comes to arguments that happen. I think we hold a responsibility more because we're more stronger. So we're getting tested. Our morality is getting tested, and that's what I think this whole thing is about, is our morality when it comes to the human experience. It's a test. We're constantly getting tested on our morality, and it's not moral to hit anybody and say that they're hitting themselves. Like, it's not okay. When is it okay to do that? You feel me? And the fact that I'm able to even see that it's wrong is like, I'm just glad I'm able to even see that. Or I'm glad that what I was feeling those times I've seen the abuse happen to the women, I'm glad that now I can actually say, like, damn, what I was feeling was actually right. I was actually right to feel this way. I was actually right to feel like, I constantly got, like, people don't know this, but I constantly got told, like, I would constantly be thinking about my children, or constantly thinking about my daughter at times. Like, when I first came there, and then when I last left, I would constantly be told that, oh, you could just make another child, or you could just be with another woman. You could just make another child. Like, I constantly got told that when I was being vulnerable to my brothers or to my father figure, like, yo, like, damn, like, this is not healthy. You're not giving me a healthy outlook on it. At least you should tell me to go back over there if I really feel that way, And sometimes it was go back over there, but it was only to try to manipulate me into coming back again. So it was never like, oh, I really feel that, like, because he don't feel that way. So of course he's not gonna give me that advice. And so I think that when I thought about, like, damn, bro, I'm like leaving Raina behind. Like, I'm really leaving her behind, bro. Like, am I like, people go to the military and they give their life to America and they got children, and, like, am I doing the same thing? Like, so it's like, but I felt wrong. So I'm glad that I'm able to, like, really sit with myself now and be like, damn, bro, what you were feeling was valid. Because you actually want to be a moral person.
Absolutely. I wanna address a question that a lot of people have been asking. How is Ja treated over there? And did you, when you were there, was Nature Boy walking around naked in front of him? I know that he likes to say that he's a nudist, and all this other stuff, but if he's a nudist, were you all nudists? Were you all walking around naked, or was it just him and the women? And was Ja party to this? Could he see this? And how do they treat Ja in general?
I can say, and I'm glad that I'm able to clear this up. I can say that we treat, when I was over there, and even now, I know that Ja is getting taken care of. Ja is getting taken care of. He's not getting like abused or nothing. He's not, they don't walk around naked in front of him. Like Nature Boy doesn't walk around naked in front of Ja. The men actually do a good job in taking care of Ja. The women actually do a good job of taking care of Ja. But the issue is the fact that it is going into this boy's subconscious. All of this is going into
The boy
his
stands
psyche.
still.
So
at
that's the
ease,
part that's
please.
like, damn, like, like this ain't right when it comes to a child actually learning and being up under,
Thank you.
you know,
That's abuse.
that situation. And it's also been times where it's said through Nature Boy that Ja might end up leaving when he get older, or that y'all created Ja out of, y'all was in y'all demons when y'all created Ja. It's been said to him, to True and Sheba, that that Ja might leave, or he's Babylon, or it's like that. I think that right there is like, a lot of people don't know that's being drilled in to the parents' head, that what they did or what they created was something that is a possibility of not being conducive for his purpose and his mission. So I wanted to clear that up, that as far as like, the men taking care and the women taking care of Ja, he's fed, and, I've taken care of him before. Like all the guys take care of him. We're all like a father to him, and he has a whole bunch of mothers and fathers. It's like a village where it's like, make sure his teeth is brushed, all that, like, just make sure he's taken care of. So in that regard.
Do you feel that that True and Sheba, their roles are somewhat diminished by Ja seeing them have to answer to Nature Boy and kneel to him and bow to him and do everything that he asks? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow. Oh, wow. I just thought about this. I think that when you're over there and you have children, that's not your child no more. It becomes Nature Boy's child, because everything is getting regulated, and the belief systems are getting regulated through him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's kind of get the sense of the parenthood from True and Sheba kind of get diminished, and they have to let go of their minds to be submissive to Nature Boy. And if their minds is submissive to Nature Boy, that means that he has Ja as well.
He's getting abused. That's abuse.
Does he tell them how to parent Ja?
Yeah, he gives a lot of parenting advice, like when it comes to Ja. But at the end of the day, I think that at any moment he'll let them go. At any moment he'll let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you mean he'll let the child go? He'll let Ja only go?
He'll let Sheba and Ja go, or Sheba is mainly Sheba and Ja. Is not really True, because he wants True around, and we know why he wants True around.
Wow.
Because True is super dedicated to him.
Got that right.
But he's willing to like let them go, like, quick.
He ain't letting nobody go.
Are there any of the men there that you feel? I think you answered this maybe earlier, but okay, let me ask this first. Pisces had a child over there. does Pisces ever talk about his child? Does he ever did he ever talk to you guys privately about it? Do you know about his son and missing him and thinking about him?
Yeah, yeah, at times. He he uh he me and Pice was super close. So that's like my brother. Like, um, me and him would laugh together a lot and make music together. So I've constantly talked to him about me missing my own child. So, and I've also brought it up to him. Like, do you miss? I question him. Do you miss your child? Do you think that your baby mama gonna come back? And um, but it's not. I think that you know he's been there so long that I don't know what he's thinking as far as like if he really wants to be or has it in his heart to be with his son. I don't think that's his focus. That's not his focus.
I have to agree with that, and I want to backpack on that comment and ask you: the men do the men get enough nutrition there? I mean, I know. True, he looks like he's just losing weight constantly. It could be the beard that he cut off, and I think the beard kind of makes it bigger. But is it the beard or?
What? No, people they're eating like we eat. When I say we eat, I gotta make that clear. Like we eat good. Both the women and men. But the weight loss that you're seeing and all that comes from stress. Like I said, Malia going to the hospital, stress. Zoka losing her baby, stress. Everybody losing weight and looking a certain way, stress.
About them STDs. What about them STDs?
You said, Kite, you said it was stress, but you also talked about Malia being physically assaulted and abused, not only by Nature Boy, but the other members. Are the males also being abused, and could this also be contributing to health issues?
Well, I mean, what I mean by stress is like when you physically getting abused, your body, you become in a state of stress. Like, and as far as the men goes, there's never been a point where it's like, he's beat a man so badly, like. But I think like what you're seeing right now, as far as like, making Loyal get on his knees and saying like, yes, my king, yes, take that bass out of your, like he's emasculating them through verbal abuse. So the men get a lot of verbal abuse. So yeah.
Did Pike get Pisces? Did he get his nose broken?
His nose broken? Nah, not that I can recall. Nah. Or I probably wasn't there at the time. Nah, I don't know. I wasn't there. If maybe at that time I wasn't there.
They said he was in a physical altercation. He either got jumped or
he
was fighting someone, and his nose ended up getting broken.
Oh no, that was I think they're talking about True. That was True that got his we had Loyal and him had fought. Maybe they talking about that. I don't know.
Kite, I want to take it back a little bit. I want to ask you, before the birth of your child and that whole live you did with Nature Boy, what did he say to you that convinced you to come back? What did that conversation sound like?
It really wasn't a lot of convincing, because of the years that I had already like been back and forth over there. So it didn't take a lot of convincing. I think that I was already thinking about it before then. Like I had constantly been thinking about it when I left. The difference that you see now is that I'm actually accepting the fact that I've been psychologically abused. You feel me? Like,
I
so it's different
remember.
now. Like, but back when that was happening, it's like, damn, like maybe I need to go back over there, and I know I'm doing something. Made me feel like I'm doing something wrong, and so I had already been thinking about it. So I was already willing to go back over there. Like, I was convinced, like, damn, I need to go back over there, bro. Like, you know. So it really didn't take much. Like, and me, I was in Philadelphia at the time with me and El Anahi, and we had a video call with him because I wanted to go back over there, and I had told him I wanted to go back over there, and he had asked El Anahi if she was willing to worship him, but she wasn't having that, and she was saying I worship myself. She seen through the bullshit, and yeah, but I was really convinced that already to begin with because of I had already been thinking about it prior to it happening.
Kite, you talked about. I know I watched the video where you apologize for some of your actions and for some of the thoughts that you had. One of the thoughts in particular was you fantasizing about harming someone's child. Do you still have those types of thoughts? And do you? I know we asked you already, but have you made any serious plans about getting help?
That's why I'm doing all these interviews to open up about that, because that's like essentially I know that for me this is not about money. This is not to use Natureboy or Carbonation to receive money. I truly am doing this out of wanting to heal myself and my psyche. As far as the baby thing goes, I take full accountability for that. About me having the illusions of doing that. I will say that I was on a substance. I was on shrooms, and I was at a very low point in my life, and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know how to deal with it, so I didn't speak about it. So when I went online, look, I want to say this to the public that I truly just, when I spoke about it online, I should have went to a therapist first, but I didn't. I mean, not I should have went to a psychologist first, but I didn't. I just, thought like, oh well, Natureboy talks about his stuff online. Let me just talk about my, what I'm going through online, or maybe some of the wicked thoughts that I've had before. And I just wanted to kind of like do the real work and say it online about that happening, that did happen. I actually spoke with my friend, and me and him talked about it. I actually was very honest with my friend that that had happened to. A lot of people thought that it was baby Eliana that was being said to, but it actually wasn't baby Eliana. It wasn't her daughter. I was actually over a friend's house, one of my best friends, and we were on shrooms together, and that's when the thought had came to kill his baby or whatever. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because at the end of the day, that's not going away. That's not going away. That's on the internet. It's going to be on there, and I can understand why people would be hurt by seeing that, but just know that my intentions of me talking about it wasn't to what do they like to say, condone it, or like to glorify it or condone it. My intentions it was like a cry for help, of like, yo, I've had thoughts about this, and I need to share this and get this out because it's eating me alive, because I didn't know what to do with it. It's like I didn't know what to do with it. And over time, I actually came to the conclusion that the reason why I had that thought, because we know that these thoughts happen because of our psychology, or because of our psyche. And I actually think that what happened was, since I was at a low point in my life, I think that thought happened because my inner child had been wounded. So I wanted to. I think it's symbolic of me trying to destroy my inner child within my own self. So, but I'm glad that you said that. I'm very serious about getting psychological help.
Kite, I want to ask you, besides marijuana, are they doing any other type of drugs over there? Did you see him doing anything other than weed?
No, it's just weed. It's just marijuana. Um, and I can vouch for that because dealer come over, actually show us the weed, and I smoked it. So if other people are smoking and they not acting like that, then it's like, So I smoked it, and it's actually weed. It's just weed. Just that he's never really smoked weed. That's what people know. So they looking like, oh, what's going on? Like, this weed do this to him? Like, what? It's because he never really smoked it. He only smoked it like once in his life. And when he did smoke it, he had like a paranoid, crazy experience. So ever since then, he didn't touch it. But what you're seeing is like a person that's new to marijuana and haven't touched it ever in his life. So when he touched it, it's like, that's what you're seeing. Like, it's really just enhancing what's already there.
Kite, can I ask you another question? Did you get that information from Eligio as well?
As far as the information, like, what you mean?
Of that being his first time taking a narcotic.
Oh, you talking about the smoking part? Yeah, I got that information from him.
Thank you.
But I know that because we've actually experimented with weed when we was in Atlanta the first time at Mama Cookie House. We actually took weed together, and he took a few hits, and he could not, like, at the time, he could not handle it. So that, like, the data I've collected from that is like, okay, I can validate that you ain't smoked weed a lot, because everybody else is like acting normal, like we used to smoking weed. But he was like, he could not take it. He was losing his breath. He, like, when you first smoke, like, it's a lot. Sometimes it's a lot for people. Like, he could not.
I told you that there are people from his past that can verify that was not his first time.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not his first time, like I said, I just go back to Mama Cookie House and see him from the data that I collected myself. It's like, oh well, he not really used to weed. Even like, especially like, even if he has done it multiple times in his life, not doing it for so long, is gonna cause it to be like a lot. So, yeah.
Hey, I know you spoke about it, and you really took the lid off of it when it came to how he abused Malia, even though we know that he physically, sexually, and mentally, verbally abuses her. Did you ever witness the abuse of any of the other women, Aya, Efaru, Zoka, Sheba, any other physical abuse that you witnessed firsthand?
No, I didn't visually see any. What I saw was kind of like a roughness towards them. Like, if they didn't do something right, verbal abuse. It's like, bitch, stop playing with me. Like, come on, like, y'all bitches acting retarded. It's like, and they like it too. Like, it's like they don't like it. Excuse me, they don't like it. I think they just, they think it's okay. Like, they're convinced in their mind, like, this is God, like, and I'm doing something wrong. He makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. You feel me? So, as far as like the roughing up part is what I'm talking about. Like, if they were lining up or whatever in the meeting, and you've seen it online where he lines us up, and we have formations. If you don't do the formations right, then you will get, like, the women get pushed aggressively to get in the right place. He gets very irritated, like, fast. Like, he gets irritated really quickly, and that's what it's like.
Formation, baby.
That's what I thought the weed was doing, like, helping him with, to calm him down more. but it just like I don't know what's going on. I don't. It's like it seemed like since I
Man
left, it got
possessed.
worse. Like I'm hearing that the guy's about to start taking his sperm, and
Ooh.
I just saw the thing with Loyal, and
What you
it's just
saw with
crazy.
Loyal? What you saw with Loyal?
Yeah, that's
And what's gonna
another
happen June
question I
5th?
wanted to ask you is when you were there, did you guys were you ever, made to take in any of his sexual poison?
Body fluids.
No. That, like I said, I'm glad I just left because that wasn't being implemented at all. As far as like this, there's certain things that is really not going on, but because the public is forced to use their imagination, that explains why people are like, damn, is this happening? Like, is this happening? So I can understand like the where the questions are coming from, because you got to use your imagination. And it's like, he hasn't slept with none of the guys, like, or none of the guys took his sperm yet. He hasn't slept with them yet. Nah, but yeah, none of that has happened like with the guys so far.
What's gonna happen June 5th?
Do you think the guys will be willing to do that?
Get to the good stuff.
Drink his sperm, yes. Have sex with him,
yes.
Maybe. I don't like. I don't know how far they're willing to go. Like, but then again, I do know how far they're willing to go because I was a member, and I was under the influence. So, who knows?
What's gonna happen June 5th? Hello.
Did you ever? Did the men seek comfort in each other? Both sexually, emotionally. Do they? Because I mean, they don't have women that they can kind of confide in.
Emotionally, yeah, emotionally, definitely emotionally. I think the guys there are very above average people when it comes to intelligence, and the government actually did research on cults and actually discovered that the people that actually join cults are above average people when it comes to their intelligence, because they're so willing to believe that somebody outside of them is a divine being or force, which is nothing wrong with seeing. If you feel like a good person and see good in everybody, that's normal, right? But like, it's like oh yeah, the research, yeah. So they actually proven that they're intelligent, above average people. So when it comes to like how we're treating each other like as men in the group, is actually like, it's good in a sense, of how we comfort each other, like not sexually, not like that, but like, we would give each other massages or just like in generally like talking to each other, but it's not sexual. It's like, I think because we didn't, of course we don't have no women. It's like, we still gotta like take care of ourselves, when it comes to like nurturing, when it comes to nurturing.
Kite, do you have a support system?
What's gonna happen June 5th?
You said, do I have a support system?
Yes, a circle of support, people who can help you.
Hey, Donna.
When you are having those thoughts
Welcome.
about going back, when you're reminiscing about moments spent with the cult, when you are deciding whether or not you want to go back, you have somebody who can help you through those thoughts.
I've recently talked to Tron. I've recently talked to Nateri. I've talked to I have my wife. So I actually have support of people that actually does help me when it comes to me having certain thoughts. And I want to say this, that the thoughts that I have are not like I want to go back, but it's more so I'm afraid because I feel like that's why I said in the beginning. I feel like so much pressure on me. You know,
Me
as
too,
far as like I know
Angel.
I'm being watched publicly and by Carbonation, by him. You know, I feel like everybody's watching me. So it's like, um, well, I feel like more so the pressure comes from them watching me. And like, you know, trying to reverse it on me that I'm doing something immoral and I'm a snitch or this and that. And it's like,
Hey, Miss
that's why I
Real.
said that the way that I
Miss
perceive
Real.
things and the way that my subconscious is, it really needs to be rewired so I won't feel guilty for speaking my story or for speaking my experience being there.
What's going down for June
Kite,
5th? Please, please. What's going
I
on?
think you spoke on this briefly, but you didn't really elaborate too much. But I was wondering, were you there when Nature Boy's sister left? And if so, what caused her to leave?
We know what caused her to leave. She's, you know, any person would be around that and be like, hell no. Like, you know, like I think she probably just got tired of just seeing everything, and you know, she probably felt like an outcast. I think she really felt like an outcast when it came to us being there. So I think that's why she like was not constantly there. Like when I was there, she was there. But then over time, I seen it like she hasn't been to the house in I don't know how long. You know, and but we know why.
Are there other people who come visit? And like I noticed that when you guys first got to Atlanta, he always had guests over and cookouts and stuff like that, and it's been dwindling, um, you know, more and more.
The nosy neighbors.
First of all, what are your thoughts about him allowing the people he know from his past into the space and not allowing you guys to have people from your past in that space? And then why do you think a lot of those people, his so-called friends, why do you think they stopped coming by?
Um, well, when I was there, they wasn't stopped coming by. They still came over. Um, and to answer your question about, you said why are the members not allowed to have people come over there? Um, I don't I don't think he necessarily doesn't want them to come, like other people, family members to come. I think that he actually doesn't mind because we've seen Efru's family come so visit. I think that the members are so deeply caught up in the fact that they don't necessarily want to get caught in that feeling like, damn, well, if I bring my family, or it's like they're so caught and dedicated to what's going on in their lives that they're not really worried about their family members, like, you know, and them visiting over there. So, and maybe some we have to look at both sides. Maybe some of the family members don't want to go over there. So, you know, maybe I think it's just they're just not. Some of the members is just not focused on their family visiting. So it's never. What I'm saying to you, it's never been a rule like y'all can't have. It's never been like a set rule of y'all can't have nobody come over here.
Mm-hmm. What is leading up to June 5th?
Programming where he tells you that if you want to be with your family, you're going against the mission. I've heard him say this out his mouth several times in video.
Right, and that's why I said that it is like a like, and like if we was to look at see what's going on in their minds, maybe it's like they don't, like you said, maybe it's like they don't. Yeah, they want to let go of their attachments and not bring them back, and you know, so.
Hello, what's going down June 5th?
I know a lot of the members there at one point took out PPP loans. Did you ever take out a loan for him? And do you know for the members that did they basically lie to get those loans?
I won't speak on that. I personally didn't do the PP loan. And as far as the other members, I won't speak on that.
I know you ain't.
Okay. My next question is about Natira. You just said that you spoke to her recently. Was that after she left this last time? And if so, do you know how she's doing since she left?
I will not speak on Terry. I just wanted to make it known that she's not over there. That's why I said that I've spoken to Terry recently, because I know there's been certain confusion that I've seen in the comments, like that she's back over there. She's not over there. She doesn't plan on going back over there. And but I don't want to say too much about Natiri, because we made a promise about me not speaking on our conversation, or I'm gonna just leave that alone. But I just wanted to say that she is okay and she's not over there.
All right, what's
Not a
going down
problem. I
June
understand.
5th?
Yeah, we know she's not there. She was actually a victim of abuse before she left. So hopefully she's doing everything that she needs to get the help that she needs to not go back as well. Kite, I want to thank you for answering all these questions tonight. I know we threw a lot of questions at
What about the June 5th question?
And you guys were gracious enough to give us a lot of answers. And I know that it's going to be a long journey for you. It's not going to be easy for you to break free of the brainwashing that's that you've dealt with, because this is not the first time. I think the first time you left when like Vibes and Rambo and
Nature's
Serenity
Nut
and
said they're
Keys
going
left.
to
Was
turn
that the
into
first time that you had ever left?
angels.
No, that was not the first time I left. That was the second time. I had met up with Caliber in Dallas, because I'm from Fort Worth, and Caliber was actually in Dallas, and I met up with him and left with him to go over there the second time. I didn't came back, and I didn't came there and left so many times, but yeah, that was actually the second time, and I actually left with Rambo. It's actually on camera, y'all. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I left with Rambo and Vibes and Serenity and Zen.
What do you think? What do you think is different about this time? What makes you think that you are not going to go back this time?
Accepting the fact that I've been a victim of mental abuse and verbal abuse. Because for the longest, I didn't want to say that. It took me 3 years to even speak up on anything about it, because I feel like I was being loyal to him and committed to him. And I also think that I've always been a person that is going to succeed when it comes to breaking generational curses and healing myself, and I've always been serious about that. I think that it doesn't stop. It's not going to stop.
Take it now.
And I think that I've always
they taking it now, Leo. Mm-hmm.
wanted to do better and do good in my life, and I finally do feel like I had the opportunity to really move on from this and really live my life and build something for myself that I see is actually beneficial towards humanity and our community. And I think that's one of the things that stands out about me, is that just because I'm not in carbonation doesn't mean that I don't want to still help my people when it comes to, whether that might be through media or podcasting, or it what I'm saying? That's for me to figure out, as far as how I want to go about helping our community. But yeah, that it's not going to go away. And also, my morality, the test of my morality doesn't go away just because I'm not in carbonation. So the journey continues. I know it's going to be long, but I will be providing for my family, for my daughter, for both of my daughters. And yeah, that's one thing that I really am focused on right now, is providing and taking care of my family.
That's really good to hear. Go ahead, Real Talk.
I just wanted to know, Kite, is there anything you want to say to the members who are still there? And is there anything you would like to say directly to Eligio?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nothing more to say. Well, Go to the
I
hell you
know
came back from. You came from.
that it may seem like I'm going against you, or I came on this platform to turn my back against you, but that's not the case. I actually do love you. Eligio, I'm speaking to you. If you see this, hear this, I actually do love you and want the best for you.
You love him.
Um,
Shit.
I don't think that the universe would have me on this platform and have me speak about these things if it wasn't necessary for you to actually grow and see where you've been in your demons. And I feel like my brothers over there that are with you got to be able to step outside of themselves and see that and correct you when you're in your demons.
What? Oh,
And right
wow,
now you're in your demons.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that you've been so focused on conquering the world that that's not the answer. You actually have to be a true king is to nurture. We have to use our mother goddess energy to nurture the world, not to conquer it, not to destroy it. And I really do truly love you. I looked up to you as a father figure. You were somebody in my life that I wanted to dedicate myself to because I felt like you were giving me more than $1 million. And I want to honestly say that you're not letting me down. You're letting yourself down when you are not able to see that this is truly coming out of love, and that me and you both. I'm not exempt from anything. We really need to heal our feminine energy because it's wounded, and I know it's wounded because of our unhealthy perspective on women. And I just wanted to say to you that
he preaching to the devil.
I know that you have a brilliant mind, and I've seen certain moments where you have been a really nice person and your intentions has been good at one point.
Shit.
But I need you to wake up from your slumber and understand that you haven't healed yet. You haven't healed yet, and you got a lot of healing to do. And I know that you're a little boy right now that's hurt. You feel hurt. You feel like if you don't have control over the family, then you'll lose a family, but that's not true. The public is still going to be here for you when you really want to heal yourself.
Hell no.
And that's what I gotta say.
No. Why are you preaching
what
to the
about
devil?
to the members?
Forget the members. What's happening June 5th?
For them too, like obviously I've been in the same predicaments as the members. I've been in the same situations as them. So I'm able to have a lot of compassion towards the members. Like I said, I love y'all. I love him. I love y'all. I truly want the best for y'all. And like I just told Eligio, I really do care about y'all as well. This is not an attack. This is a attempt to
what?
Bring the truth out of what's actually going on.
Yeah, they're in that
and
sunken place.
I really don't have much to say when it comes to that because I've already the whole interview I've said stuff to help.
Kite, the reason I'm asking is because I'm asking you to say something is because I don't think people understand the struggle that it takes. When did you leave? How long ago did you leave?
It's been what? It's been like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. And I think you still have a lot of healing and growing to do. And you may need what we call a starting point, and I think this is your starting point.
Yeah, protecting him. What's happening? June
Yeah,
5th.
most
Hopefully
definitely.
you can contact the team
Ciao,
outside of it,
bye.
and like I said,
Okay,
a
so
therapist, and then come back to us, come back to the team, in 6 months, several months from now, and then kind of like give an update if that's okay with you.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
Hey, Bertha. Hey, sugar baby.
Yep, I have to echo Rachel's sentiments. I'm gonna thanks, Kite. I have to echo her sentiments. I know a lot of people really don't understand the depths of mind control, brainwashing, cult programming to the extent that Eligio has been able to place his members under. I know for a lot of people, this is unfortunately entertainment. But for those of us who know, we do understand it is going to be a long road ahead for you, Kite, for your family, for your woman, for your daughters. My advice to you is to not give up and to understand that you have the power that you were seeking in this man, who is a master manipulator. He's a master at mind control. A lot of people, speak down on Eligio because he does deserve that because of the way that he treats people. But, the truth of the matter is that he has mastered mind controlling certain types of individuals. And unfortunately, you fell victim to that. He's able to gain control over people using a lot of different methods, including public humiliation, private humiliation, and even incriminating himself, saying the things that he's done to, big himself up, brainwashing, obviously. And I'm sure that there were a lot of instances in the background where he was, showing you guys his weaknesses, his emotional side. He's probably cried in front of you many times to try to pull at your at your sensibilities to garner that attention and affection from you guys. And all of these are tactics. These are all tactics. The only person that Eligio truly loves is himself. And I want you to try to keep that in mind. I want you to remember that. You can love people as much as you want, but I want you to also keep in mind that Tina Turner song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Because love is just one aspect. It's not enough. Eligio is a very wounded individual who needs some deep psychological healing, and he might just get that one of these days, but you just never know. I just want you to remember that he has a lot of emotional damage, a lot of emotional baggage, and for the time being, I just hope that you really focus on loving your family, loving this woman that has stood beside you. She's very intelligent, she's very bright, she's a strong young lady and you guys can go far together. Please don't forsake her. Please don't forsake your daughters. They need you more than Eligio will ever need you. They're who they're going to love you. They're going to always be there for you as long as you're there for them and showing them the way. You got to be a good example to them and be a leader for them. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just take baby steps. It's hard being a man, it's hard being a woman, but you can grow into any role that you want to put yourself in using all the tools that you've learned throughout the years, even from the co-leader. So I just want to thank you so much for having the courage. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you've done this before," and I don't see that you've done this before. So I thank you for coming on my platform.
Y'all didn't ask that June 5th question. I know that you have
another interview coming up, so feel free to plug that here. Your next interview that you're going to be doing in person with someone, feel free to let the audience know about that one as well.
Come over here.
And just really focus on your family right now. Focus on yourself and focus on your daughter. Here. And, keeping your mindset healthy mind state. And not feeling any guilt for being behind a cult that really has threatened you since you've gone. They have threatened your life.
I'm good, baby.
Although I hope that you are not fearful, because Eligio is literally powerless without all of you surrounding him and worshiping him and praising him. He needs that. You don't. Normal people don't need that. So just please try to keep that in mind.
Somebody tell him to come over here.
You've done a great job today. So thank you so much for your courage and your strength. And keep it up. Keep that throat chakra strong, and speak up whenever you feel the need. Talk about your experiences and help others to stay away from joining this cult, because it's nothing good, unfortunately, and it's just going downhill.
That's a fact. I also want to give Elanahi, when I say you are a very strong woman, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you for being who you are and what you are. If it were not for your resilience and your individual strength, Kite would have no one to go to come out of with. And that is why Eligio separates the men from the women, because together you guys are strong and powerful against him. Do you understand that?
Yes. It's been a lot. I know I've had my moments where I just completely had no sympathy for Kite, because I was hurt. I was hurt by the situation. So
Feeling like that.
yeah, so it's been a point where I told him that he was never going to see his daughter again, because I was just that hurt. I completely. But then I knew, upon doing research on cults and cult leaders and the psychology of how the cult members are, I noticed he's a victim, and I can't blame him. If I'm his family and I'm telling him, you can't come back, then he has nothing, because he definitely ain't got nothing over there. He's not getting. There's no love being reciprocated over there. So of course there has to be. I feel like, yes, this has to be. That he has to have something to fall back on, and we have a child together. I don't know, it could have went different if we didn't have a child together. Who knows? But the universe knows what it's doing. So the fact that we have a child together, that love for him will never fade away. And that's what I was. I probably look bipolar, texting him, "Oh, you can't come back," or "You can come back," or "You can never come back," or "Please, you have a home to come to if you ever want to leave there." But I just want him to know that I'm always there for him, and I always wanted to be just like a woman who's had her man back, and upon being in relationships where narcissistic relationships, that's what I was always trying to display, that I got his back no matter what, no matter what, no matter what. But now that I have better judgment and I'm older, I can discern what's good for me and what's not. And I feel like Kite is not a bad person. He's not a bad person at all. Kite has a huge heart. He's a great person. He's a very divine being, and we made a very divine being together. I feel that in my soul. We have the same birthday. It's a lot of synchronicities that we've seen together.
Connie.
Yeah,
Connie was born on the same day my mom.
Exactly. The baby's birthday is the same day as his mom, February 27th. And it's just a lot of divine synchronicities that the universe tells us, you guys are supposed to be together. And, that's what I feel in my heart. Exactly. It's a mission.
I want to also say, you guys, wherever you guys end up as far as your physical location in the future, please, guys, don't hesitate to seek out some sort of, you guys can even do couples therapy together, just so that, you both, and especially Kite has a platform where he can kind of reveal some of the deeper, darker things that he might not be able to speak about in an interview. It's really, really important that you guys speak with a professional to help to deprogram, so that you really go through this process. Part of your healing process is going to be that. It's going to need to be that in order for you to truly be okay. You can't just walk away from a cult that you've been a part of for all these years and think you can do it alone. You really gotta find something out there that can also assist you in healing from this. And there's a lot of programs out there where they'll even take you on a sliding scale. I know therapy is expensive. Trust me, I've done it myself.
Those spells. T, thank you so much for allowing me to be your co-host today. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you as well, Real Talk.
Questions or keep up any type of contact with people outside of carbonation without his interference. And the second question in reference to like all of the porn that these young ladies are doing with Eligio on Twitter.
Thank you. Some real questions.
Could that possibly be, in his opinion, another thing that keeps the women kind of trauma bonded there because they feel as though they've been put on the world's platform in a way that's shameful and they're not comfortable going back home?
I think I'll allow you to answer that as a woman. Elanahi, the second part. And for the first part, you are allowed to, talk to whoever you want to talk to. But there's a sense of feeling bad for talking to certain people, or it might be like, I don't know, if you're not being honest with your own self when you're there, it's kind of like, if let's say you texting somebody about like, oh yeah, I saw this and this shit is crazy. It's like, I mean, of course, if they see that, they're going to say something, but it's like, so in that sense, it's like, you kind of, like when you're there, you got to understand that like, you got to be with the group because that's what is powering a cult. Like you have to be a part of it and give your energy to it.
Right.
If you're not giving your energy to it, it's going to be piqued by the group. You feel me? That you're not all your energy to it. So it's not like.
Sorry. So they're pretty much convinced in their own mind that they would.
Exactly.
Right. I see what you're saying.
No, we don't.
But I remember a lot of people saying Malia's situation at home is so messed up, and that's why she won't leave. She doesn't feel like she can come home. And I think that another strong part of that is, we've seen these girls, mentally vulnerable, and we've seen them in their most vulnerable positions physically, and that those videos are always going to be there. And I think that's another thing that he uses to say, I've ran through you pretty much, no one's going to want you. You have Eligio tattooed on your behind. Like, I would like to hear what your wife thinks about that, if that's something that he's also using to trauma bond those girls to him.
I'll just tell us
Yes, actually, upon doing my research on cults when Kite was gone, I saw in an article about cults that I was actually reading on trauma bonding because I hear that word a lot in the spiritual community. So I did research on trauma bonding, and actually, trauma bonding is a tactic that the cult leader uses to pull you in or to catch or get his victims or whatever. He aims at your he aims at your he focuses on you at your vulnerable state. And I noticed that he tried to do that with me when I was going live with him, but I was just turning him down over and over. But he noticed that I was vulnerable in this state that, of course, Kite was leaving, and I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do. So he tried to put on a nice face, like, oh, I understand what you're going through. I know how you feel. Because
or try to manipulate the situation to trying to be sexually, like, make it sexual with a person that, first of all, it's like your member that you say you love and that I can come back, and then you're doing it like you talking to his baby mama, and it's like you're doing it to his baby mama. Like, where's the moral in that? It's like, it's like no sense of like a boundary when it comes to uh communicating with women. Like I noticed it. It's like, okay, you communicating with women, and when a woman actually has something valuable to say, which is you might want to look at it, bro, because it might be an actual uh like message from the feminine energy trying to teach you something about yourself that you need to look at. But
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't take it serious, and it's like, yeah, baby, but yeah, I got a big penis or whatever, and
Right.
really, y'all trolls, y'all really try to be on me, but I know you like me though. You really my wife, and your husband this. Like, it's just, it's sick. It's messed up, man.
Right. Well, you did a tremendous job, and I just wanted to really quickly, so I know you're really close with him.
I see in that regard of what you're talking about, um, and I
Hey,
want to say,
Andre. Can you
um,
repeat the knowledge? Oh, not
man,
to
that's kind of,
him.
I think both. I think both because we are together in the family. That is the nucleus. There's no outside because everybody's there, you know. Um, but there is times
So
where
you
I'm,
would be like close enough to know like the dealings of the finances and like, when
oh,
decisions are being made, you feel like you would be a part of that conversation.
you speaking in that way, like financially. No, no, nah, I wasn't
Well,
in that.
close to be a part of that kind of those, because there's the conversation you're going to have with the larger group, and then there's the conversation you're going to have with those that are really really close.
No.
Usually with cult leaders, that's the way they kind of run things. And the last question I think I want to ask you is the period of time that because I do recall, I think I started watching around like those end days before you left in Mexico with Rambo and Serenity and Vibes and Flow. I hadn't noticed you though. That was the crazy thing for me. I had not noticed you until that video. And I was like, where did this guy come from? But how long do you think, like within the period that you came and then left, what's the longest you were with them?
I want to say like almost a year, probably the longest I've ever been, probably
Oh, wow.
7, 8 months. Yeah, back
And that
and
was in
forth too.
Mexico?
Um, Mexico, yeah, yeah, to Mexico. I was there for Las Vegas, Hawaii, Atlanta, 1 and 2, Puerto
Right. That's when
Rico.
I started really seeing you. Right.
Um, so I
So
was there.
you've
I was
witnessed
there.
a lot of the abuse there too, though.
Yeah, I was there when Velvet was there, Mexico, all that. When Flo, I was there when Flo and Tron, all that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to pry too much. I think there's a lot more people that have a lot more questions. So the only thing I want to say is you're doing the right thing by talking about it, because you have to talk about it as much as you can to get it out, get it off your chest, right? And the next thing that I would say is, you know, you have to remove yourself from any type of communication with them, block them from your social medias, just really reinvent your life the way that you really want to see your life from here on out. And it's going to take time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, obviously. And like you said, I want to get into therapy. So, definitely get with a therapist and, just continue to talk and work out what has you still kind of connected to him emotionally, as well as that you say that kind of fear that you feel that still kind of hangs over you from him. But keep going. And shout outs to the sister, because she's definitely strong and holding it down. So you guys, thank you. Have a good rest of the night.
Thanks, Quet. Jim, you're up.
Oh
Ask your
wow!
questions.
Thank you, sis.
Okay,
I
thank you,
appreciate
T.
you
I
so
just
much.
have one question and I
Thank
have
you,
two things
darling.
to say. Kite, is there we see a lot of
Wow.
humiliation going
Thank
on
you,
on
beautiful
camera and
spirit.
whatnot. It's like it
Appreciate you.
seemed to turn up to a certain level. I just wanted to know, is he like doing one thing on camera and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna humiliate you guys on camera," but when we get off, please don't take this seriously. Like, what is he trying to trick people into thinking that he's like being like this hard guy and telling guys people different things off camera to basically trick them?
Not necessarily. I think that it's just more so an unpredictable thing. And I've said this earlier, like in the live, that um, like when it comes to him being online and offline, there is no difference. Like I said, like he's already like tested the limits to see how far he can go, and that's what's being like shown online. It's like basically it's like he's broken the barrier of anything that's like that is online. It doesn't matter anymore if he does it online. Like like, yeah, I am a narcissist. Yeah, I am a cult leader. Like, yeah, I am this. Yeah, I am doing this. Like, they are my slaves, or so.
Oh, okay.
He's seen the limits over time, and just like now he knows what he can do, and online, like how far he can go with it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't hearing that. I also heard you say that you were a coward for going in the middle of the night. And I just want you to know that you're not a coward. You're very, very strong, and you took a step that needed to be taken, and I'm so proud of you because I know that's hard to do. Sorry. Someone else can go. I just have one more thing to say, but I just let someone else go real quick.
MJ, you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Oh, hey T. I'm on the same side of everybody. I'm glad you back doing this. We needed you. And Kite, is your Cash App still the same?
Cash App.
As far as my Cash App goes, you can, if y'all want to donate. I don't like that word. If you want to support us, you can use her Cash App. Jay, you want to tell them?
Oh, my Cash App is it's cash tag Supreme Divinity TV, just like that, like no uppercase, no
That's too long,
dots or nothing, just Supreme Divinity TV. Plus, we have GoFundMe. We have the links in our bio if y'all want to.
Yeah, we do got.
Read that over.
Okay. Because
it's not like that. As far as like, it's just like imagine you just like you regularly living in a household with a group of people. And this is not like what you're. That's what I wanted to make known. Like in the beginning of the live, is that like this is not. He's not entertaining. Anybody. This is an actual form of him abusing his power. Like he's actually using his power for his own entertainment. Like, but the deeper, like what you're seeing on a deeper level is people actually become like being victims of the narcissist.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank y'all, and y'all be blessed on your journey. Okay.
Jim, do you want to finish? Did you want to finish asking your question, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to if there's any like carbonation women like listening in or just hearing this, I just wanted to tell you guys that I do porn for a living. Straight up. And what we are looking at on Twitter is, we don't see that as porn. We see that as women whose sex lives are being exploited. So you don't have to be afraid of being looked at as someone who does not have morals, because you still do.
What?
You can go and live your life, and you can go be normal after this, and nobody would consider you a woman that's like, you know, a Jezebel, basically.
You are.
Because you are not doing what porn stars do. And that's all I really have to say. And Kite, you have a beautiful family. You keep going, and you touch me with your story. That's all.
Thank you, Jim.
What's going to happen June 5th?
Hello,
get to
thanks
that,
for
please?
this interview, and thanks for sharing your testimony and speaking your truth, Kite. I admire you. I have a few quick questions and then something to say.
You
What
better
was
go
the
ahead with
day-to-day
yourself.
like? Were you able to eat and sleep when you wanted to? And then
better
did
go
you
ahead
also
with
witness
yourself.
any witchcraft?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm able to eat anytime I want to eat. I think what people really got to understand, like, about like being a member there, is that if you're not honest, why are you there? That's what you're gonna get back. So like, if we have a meeting and we're in the meeting, and if you're really, really hungry and you don't speak up about it, nobody's gonna make you feel bad about being like, you know, wanting to get something to eat. I just think, I don't know what it is. It's like they drilled it in. I don't know if they want to make him happy by, you know, because he's constantly like, basically he sets this standard.
That part is true.
Of what being a guy like is, like what God like is. So, you know, like when he sets the standard for himself, everybody wants to set the standard like him. So like, you know, he's like, yo, I'm constantly up. Like, you know, I don't sleep. Y'all niggas be sleep. I don't sleep. I'm constantly up thinking, like, I'm always up on the go. Like, so it's like, or I don't need to eat that much to be big. Like, I don't need to eat as much as y'all. Like, we want to copy him so much. And this is actually a thing that goes on in multiple religions throughout history. Like, is that, you know, people follow people like Gandhi, and it's like he don't eat, and to reach a certain stage of enlightenment, that's actually what you're seeing in another form of, like, he set a standard so high for himself, like that other members want to be like him.
Standards.
Oh, you don't eat that much, so I don't, like, damn it, I feel wrong for eating. Like, am I really hungry, or I feel wrong for like sleeping? I gotta stay up because my master teacher is up. Like, I gotta do this because my master teacher is doing it. But it's like, if it's not aligning with actual morals and principles, then there's no point of even being with the teacher, because the teacher is not teaching you at that point. He's only perpetuating the same things that you're trying to learn from or heal from.
Okay. And did you like witness any like demonic things going on there?
Mm-hmm.
My bad, I forgot about the witchcraft part.
Oh, okay.
Get to it. Get to it.
Are you ready for this answer?
We ready.
Sure.
Witchcraft is something that's not being done.
Lies.
In a sense of
lies.
It's always being done.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how I see it, you know, to honestly answer. Like, I'm not gonna throw away some of the things that I like resonate with, that's still healthy for me to like that's not something that's like was given to me by Natureboy. That's something that's like, if you use your common sense to really understand that, of course the world is magical. Everybody's using magic, and the real this is what we grew up in, a system that they didn't want us to use or see these certain things as spiritual. Psychology is spiritual. Biology is spiritual. Using all of these, that's what he's doing. He's using all of the real magic to actually do witchcraft. So it's
Whatever,
like,
Kite. Whatever,
yeah,
Kite.
that's being done everywhere. This is like Harry Potter. This is literally like everybody's doing magic. Like it's just that he's abusing it. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So he's abusing it basically.
Whatever, Kite.
And then
Whatever.
another question I had is that so happy and proud that you left, and don't ever feel like a coward for leaving in the night and doing what's best for you. Like, don't ever make yourself, or think that you're wrong for doing what's best for you. I just want to know what was it that clicked? Was it your family? Was there like a breaking point?
Question. Come
what
early to
clicked in the moment
class.
when
Ooh,
you
I hate
left?
to come back.
Oh man, a lot of things clicked. Well, when I first got there, in Atlanta, a few days of me being there, like I was already being told to leave, and like, man, that hurt my feelings so much, bro. It's like,
Okay. The goddess says they are moving atmospheres in different states. That's how they are God. Something wrong with you, Nikki. Because there ain't no damn God. Go ahead with that one. Whatever, Kite, they're moving atmosphere. Do you know what it means to move an atmosphere? Can somebody physically move an atmosphere? And what is an atmosphere that somebody can move? They ain't God. They don't do stuff to hurt people. Kite, why did you block me on their side? Yeah, I know it's ritual. You know these things, baby. But then that don't mean they God. Anytime you do the same, they do the same damn thing we do. They on the internet just like us. They got a Cash App just like us. The people got PayPal, they got PayPal just like us. They gotta eat, they gotta sleep, they gotta shit. They need pay bills. You gotta pay that damn landlord just like us. That sounds like he's pretty normal. That he's just as normal as the rest of us. People, how he better than you? Y'all doing the same. Y'all doing the exact same thing. He's doing nothing different than you. Yeah, because he's a narcissistic person, and he know how to control people by fear and rituals and shit. He's the same damn ninja, just like the rest of us. They have a being, and they are evil. You are 100% correct. I ain't arguing with you. They beyond evil. But that come back and bite you in the ass too. They evil people who just like us. Just like us.
I went over there, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm back with the fam. I'm back with you. Like I'm back, I'm back with my teacher, like my OG. And then it's like, yeah, I'm watching you. Like you got a moon square Pluto. You want to dominate everything. Like uses astrology to validate, and use reverse psychology. But when I was over there, I was actually like a few days when I was there, I was actually told to leave because I don't even know like the real reason of why I was told to leave.
Girl.
It's like it's like, man, it's so much, and I can't. I'm gonna have compassion for myself, and I'm like I can't say every single thing in this one. So
right, as you should, you give yourself your time to work through that. And then my last question is there anything you think we can do as a community to help? Because I've been in an abusive situation and like it really was on me.
Andre, the cells in our body know that you say, but they know you exist. Or is it we know that the cells in our body exist? Or does it go hand in hand? So I think we know it exists. They have a job to do. They're doing their job in your body, but we know it exists. We know the jobs that each thing in our body is supposed to do. The goddess, set yourself free, baby. You better get your wings and fly. Fly like a bird, baby. I wish you nothing but luck, and I wish you well. I wish you everything that you need to get to set yourself free.
Even though if other people told me like they thought I was being abused, I would defend. But it was when I felt like I was ready to go. So it's like I'd be watching it thinking like, how is there anything we can do, or is it really gonna just be up to the person to?
I think that our jobs as waking up and realizing the things that have been done to us. I think the real work is speaking up about it, because, and not to a point where you try to manipulate the public into giving you money, or you try to like, even like, that's why I said like I spoke to Tron, and I'm glad I spoke to Tron, because it really made me keep my morality, even though I'm not in carbonation. That doesn't mean that, you know, I don't have to make, like, I still have to make something of my life. Like, I can't let this bring me down to a point where I don't want to do anything. And I also just can't let it be that this is my power. Like, this is my power when it comes to, you know, actually creating something for myself. I don't want to use this as a battery, but then again, it's like, like I'm attached to it. So it's nothing I can do about that. I'm attached to it. But I think I really think the real work is really speaking about it, and learning, and like, because essentially, like, I know because I was a member and other people have been victims of it, and yeah, of course you're gonna have to come to your own awareness of what's being done to you. But if you really look at it, it's still gonna go into their subconscious mind, regardless, you know. And you can still help plant the seeds. That's like, Malia might need to hear this.
Right.
He might be surrounded right now by them, thinking, you know, they might, yeah, this nigga this nigga that, and like, you know, the women might be hearing it, and they might not even be listening to me, really, like, you know. But hopefully it reaches some of them, and that's why you gotta speak up about it, because you don't know, it might actually do something, you know. So
Okay. And the last thing I just have to say was just like a little bit of my testimony, and just saying that when I got out of my domestic violence abuse, therapy was a huge thing. So you being open to that is a very huge step. So definitely seek that out. And also too, forgiving yourself, forgiving people who have hurt you, and you'll unravel that in therapy, but like, just forgiving yourself for what you allowed, and that it's okay, and that you don't, like, being hard on yourself isn't, you know, it basically isn't the answer. So I wanted to say that. And then also, since there are a lot of people on here in the Black community, this is kind of like just for everybody, just a little bit of my testimony. I know everyone.
Thanks, T, and thanks to
be a good mother, because if you can describe what it is.
Some notes, and I do want to say what we called it. Maybe we called it the cultural community back then. So a vetting process is, although you like everything you see, this could apply to a woman that you really like, a religion you like, you have a litmus test before you pass go, and you basically give access to your.
And that's just the honest truth.
If you do need any type of guidance or help.
So we could just keep it short. You guys ask one question, please, and then we can let them enjoy the rest of their night. Kofi, you can go first. Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, greetings, Kai. I'm sending you all some warm, positive vibrations and shout out from Central America. So, I have a question, just a short question. I had a few. I was writing down some notes, and
They ain't asked
I
about that
do want to
damn
say
June 5th
that
though.
there is a channel that I put together. It's not it never was a drama channel. There is a playlist of all kinds of cults, black and white, so that people can educate themselves about the patterns. So it's a two-part question. One is, have you taken the time to educate yourself? And perhaps, because a lot of times we can't see ourselves, especially when we're in something, have you taken the time to actually look at some documentaries of different types of cults to perhaps see the patterns of the cults, like to see what is similar? Say, for example, there's so many kinds. Have you taken the time
So,
to...
okay, so I think that we should be aware that as the generations go on, each generation is going to try something new. And as far I grew up with, like, I didn't grow up with the internet, but I grew up, like, you know, I have the internet, like, so it's like I was like a geek when it came to research, like nerd when it comes to like learning about everything. And like when you're young, you're gonna try like new things that your parents haven't done before. So like with the cult thing, man, I already been researched it. Like I already been researched like what a cult was before I actually was over there. And I was very well educated on what a cult was. I even understood that in some form or fashion, like, you know, on a big scale, we have cults. You know, like McDonald's is a cult in a sense, or, you know, you got, but not to get too off on the question. I just want to be vulnerable in this moment and say that I wanted to actually be in a cult. Like I wanted to try it. I learned about it, researched it, and I actually wanted to put myself through doing that. Like, you know what I mean? And that's just the honest truth.
I hear you.
But I didn't know what I was getting. I didn't know what the hell I was getting into. But and not just like about it being like evil or, you know, there was no black cults. You know what I mean? So I didn't really see it as a cult. I thought at first, you know, oh, this is just like a tribal thing, and, you know, it's a group of black men. And I didn't really look at it like that. Because all the cults, when I research cults, mainly what pops up, well, a long time ago, it's probably different now, but like it's European cults. So what I was accustomed to seeing, but I didn't know how it would turn out in full effect. You know, just knew that, okay, well, I'm young, I'm trying these different religions. I'm some sense of security when it came to my belief system. So I just wanted to do anything I could to feel better about my life. And, you know.
Thank you. You know what? I just want to hopefully just offer something that perhaps can be helpful. A couple of things as a young person, and I am an adult. You could be my son, and I've had an experience with a cult that I didn't know was a cult. So, one, I just like to express to the folks in the chat something with Afro people, Black people in our community. I think it's very important that we grow to learn to not shame people, to victim shame and to victim blame, because no one does something without a reason. I don't think this is a huge opportunity. There have been an opportunity for us to learn and for us to get really real about what's going on within our community. We can point fingers at other folks. When folks feel shamed or blamed, they're not going to come forth. This is why children don't come forth if they've been mishandled or so on. And I think perhaps we can ask ourselves what's missing, because many of us may think that we're not experiencing these types of patterns. But
somebody, if they know Kite Instagram, tell him to come give us an interview because we on the Sugar Love, we gonna ask some real. My chat is the best chat. We gonna ask some real questions. We gonna ask some real questions. Somebody tell him to come on over here. He saying it ain't about no money, so come on over here. But guys, she's finished. I'm going out and I'm coming right back on. So go get y'all, go to the bathroom or something really quick. Because y'all gotta see Nature Nut. And this video was really long, so I don't wanna make it too long. So I'm gonna go out. Thank you to the team for this interview, Kite and everybody else. Thank you to my beautiful chat. I love you all dearly. You know I appreciate you guys to the T. But I'm going out and I'm coming right back in with Nature Nut and more updates. So don't go too far. Peace. And if Night the Goddess is still here, if you're setting yourself free, girl, ooh, I wish you the best of luck. I'm coming right back in.